So suppose you were just kidnapped all of a sudden out of the blue. You're just hanging out with your friends and a couple of guys show up. They overpower you and you're never seen ever again. Gone. Just like that. And supposing, just hypothetically, that you were transported all the way across the world, the other side of the world, men, women, and children in the basement of a boat, there for months, suffering from all kinds of diseases. And suppose you end up in a foreign country like North Korea where you have no idea what is going on or what people are doing and why they're doing it. And everything familiar to you is gone. You don't understand the language. You don't understand the culture, the people, the food, the look, the geography, the climate. And you're forced to work as a servant or a slave. And this happens for multiple generations, hundreds of years. You are considered a second-class citizen. So the question is, after all that, and that's all you've known from the time you were a child, how do you go from this to this in just 50 years? Here, the Duke Ellington Orchestra, which is composed of African Americans, photographed in the 1920s in Harlem. How do you go from this being sold and treated like property to this? Here, British shipping heiress Nancy Cunard with John Banting, a painter, and Taylor Gordon in Harlem, New York. How do you go from this, where slaves were forbidden to learn to read or write and were whipped for ever thinking that they were equal to their masters, to something like this? The answer, of course, and where all these pictures have come from, is the Harlem Renaissance. You have a renaissance. You reinvent yourself. And so, it's one thing if you as a person can do that, but how do you get a group, a generation, an entire cohort, a nation of people to reinvent themselves in that way? That's what we learn about when we study the Harlem Renaissance. And that's what we're going to talk about today.